Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Green and Gorgeous. Emily is gone, so Tori and I are joined tonight by Kim Collelo, who I just learned how to pronounce her name the correct way.
I'm proud of you, Haley.
Thank
you
you.
for coming on. I don't know if you saw the last show when it was just me and Haley. It was a disaster.
Yes. I heard there was some drinks flying.
So we're being supervised today.
It's okay. Don't expect me to be the supervisor. Because
I was going to say, we decided we could never do a show without a third person again. After that last one, we were like, no, that was too much. But Kim, we're super excited that you're here with us tonight. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes. I'm originally from Milwaukee. I live in Florida now, so I had no choice but to be a Packer fan when you grow up in Wisconsin. And that never really left me. So diehard Packers fan. I'm a paralegal, worked in radio for 10 years. Other than that, I'm just a boring true crime nerd.
Aren't we
You're
all?
not boring. I think you're far from boring, actually.
Thank you.
Every time I see Kim on Twitter, I'm like, I know it's going to be something good.
I like to just hit with a one-liner and then leave for a couple days.
That's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
Exactly. So we'll jump right into the Packers here. Obviously, we're coming off of our fourth straight loss. Sounds like since we've started Green and Gorgeous, the Packers aren't doing so hot.
Guess we're the jinx. We might have to stop.
Somebody did tell us that one week. They were like, maybe it's you guys. I don't know. Maybe they're right. I don't think so.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Probably just Aaron Rodgers, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a touchy subject for some.
Yeah, careful. They're coming for you.
I know. That's why I brought it up, because I was already called a bitch for saying that earlier this week.
Yeah. I've gotten called many things.
I was going to say.
Yeah, bitch is among like the least of my worries when people call me it. I'm like, yeah. And
you're probably not wrong anyways. But unfortunately, since Kim is here, we forgot to put a basketball segment in the show tonight. I'm sorry. Since we like to dunk on people.
Haley, it's not funny if you have to explain your joke, but nice try.
Okay.
Well, I thought Kim would have understood a little bit.
I did.
I was like, is it because she's taller than you? Is it because you think we're basketball players?
Right.
Yeah, because you guys are huge compared to me.
Yeah, all of 5'5".
See, someone's back and they said, yes, I blame you guys 100%. So see? I told you that somebody
I
did.
feel like it's the same one that blamed us, and you're not wrong.
I feel like there's like a phone on like a velvet pillow under glass, and if someone says something bad about Aaron Rodgers, like it rings and then you have to pick it up.
Seriously.
And it's like a siren goes off and
it has to be, especially there's one person that I see on every single person's post about Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, maybe they just have like notifications.
I say just for like the name, like whenever Aaron Rodgers pops up, just like it dings them.
It's his burner.
Exactly. What if it was?
Right, because he doesn't go on his like actual accounts very often.
Right.
So now we're all convinced that Aaron Rodgers has a burner and just fights with all of us on Twitter.
You heard it here first.
That'll be the next rumor flying around Twitter. What did you guys think of the Bills game, Tori?
I mean, I tweeted it out. I am happy it was closer than I thought it was going to be. I definitely saw us losing by 30. I'm not exactly super pumped about the performance, and I feel like it was just a little too late because I never felt like the game was actually close enough to have, but it was just close enough to not hurt me is more of what it was.
If that Tanyan touchdown at the end didn't get called back, we would have had a chance to come back with the field goal that Crosby made.
I would say, yeah, like, I mean, it could have been even closer with the field goal, with like Rodgers throwing an interception right after we get an interception. Like, if we could have even gotten a field goal out of that, there's a few things. If we could have recovered that fumble, like, there's a few things that if it went our way, may have been a different story. I don't think by much, honestly, but
That
Would've been better.
Rodgers interception right after we got the interception was so on brand.
And it was off like the head again. I was like, oh my God.
I laughed so hard when that happened because I was like, we're gonna get an interception and we're gonna do nothing with it.
Like
Yeah.
you're not Kyler Murray. You should be taller than these people. You shouldn't be hitting them in the fucking head. It's happened too many times. Like Haley could probably throw it over someone, and she's 5'1".
I have an arm on me, I'll tell you that much.
I'll be a
Put me in,
receiver.
coach.
No, I should be a tight end. I should not be a receiver. I'm not that fast.
I think I'd be a better defensive player.
Oh, I would definitely be like
I just,
a D-line person, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I feel like I'd be like a strong safety.
Yeah, I feel like Haley would just be the ball. We've been over this before.
Well, she's little, so maybe she could be
She's
like
just so
a
itty-bitty.
fullback or something like that.
Or,
You
you
know
know,
what I mean?
or
Get
like
under-
she could be the one that gives us the water.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
If you guys saw me throw a ball, you'd change your mind, but it's fine.
I believe it.
I do. I feel like you got an arm. I feel like you got an arm.
I do. But obviously the game was closer than, I think everyone expected. I think we're all, what was it that Aaron said? The Bills are going to stick their hands up our ass like a puppet or something like that.
Yes, that was my tweet I put on the show.
Yeah.
And they were gonna stick their hand up our ass and use us as a puppet.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, for that, I felt a little bit better. I think at this point, we're just used to losing so far this season, right? Like, no loss has actually really hurt me personally.
If the bar is already super low, you can only go up from there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the bar is in hell. The bar is actually in hell right
The
now.
bar is 6 feet under.
Right. I expected it to be a complete massacre. So I was happy that it was not. I think I saw some things that we can build on and that I'm excited to see, like Samori Toure and
I was kind of honestly like at the beginning of the season, he was one that I didn't think was going to actually make like the whole roster. I thought he was going to be like our next person off the practice squad. So to see him actually doing things, I'm kind of pumped about because it's like we need someone to, since we didn't get anyone to do that for us earlier.
I was actually really impressed with him in the preseason, so I wanted to see more of him like in regular season. I wanted him to be somebody that, we played often. And so for me, it was really exciting to be able to get to see him because I think he's great. I think he has a lot of potential. I feel really bad for Christian Watson's. Dude cannot catch a break.
No.
I feel so bad for him.
I know. His mom went off though this week on Twitter, and I love
As she should have, because I would have too.
Yes.
How are you blaming someone for a concussion or for injuries that they can't even control?
Right.
There's only so much you can do to prevent an injury.
I kept seeing people saying like he's so soft because he keeps getting injured, and I'm like, what?
How can you blame? That's so ridiculous.
I'm like, the two do not correlate at all. Like, not even a little bit. So yeah, I was actually really impressed that his mom said what she said because I was like, I would be saying the same exact thing. And her and his sister both, I've seen them both get a little feisty on Twitter, and I like it.
I love that. He's from Tampa, so I have a soft spot in my heart for him. Yeah. So I have a coworker who was his quarterback in high school for the last 2 years, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, I was just cool. Like, Rex, tell me everything. And he was just like, he was really scrawny in high school. And then all of a sudden I see him and he's just like getting drafted by the Packers and he's like cut. And oh my gosh. So I have a soft spot for Christian Watson.
I'm really excited to see him at his full ability. I feel like Christian Watson gives me like Jordan Love vibes with the way that the fans act.
Yeah, people are not a big fan of him, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm like, what has he done to you?
I think it's just the fact that he was drafted higher. I won't even say like high, he was drafted higher, and that was like who we thought was going to be our guy, and he hasn't had the opportunity to really be that guy. And when he was given the opportunity, it didn't go too hot, unfortunately. But like, you need more than like a chance, like one chance when you're a rookie.
Right. And he wasn't
Well,
immediately Devontae Adams. Like, he's not going to immediately just pick up where Devontae left off. Devontae Adams in his
right.
first year wasn't Devontae Adams that he is now.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just about to say. People expect us to replace Devontae Adams with a first-year rookie, and it's just not
It's
going to
just
happen.
not going to work out like that.
No.
Mm-mm.
And then I'm like, people seem to forget what Devontae Adams was his first year, because Devontae Adams was look, my brother's
Your
here.
brother.
Oh, he's watching the show?
I guess I probably made him feel a little bit guilty. Either that, or he was scrolling through Twitter and
found it.
decided to click in.
Hi, Nick.
But the Packers have not lost 4 games in a row in a while. So do we feel like this is a look into our franchise future, or do we think that this is just a spoof?
I think it's really hard to tell. Like, there's so many factors that go into it. Who would have thought Rodgers was going to lose to the Jets? You know what I mean? Like, there are so many factors. I feel like the difference between the Packers and other teams right now is other teams are building for the present and the future, whereas the Packers are just building for the future. Like, let's just start rebuilding for future seasons. And I think that's where the frustration comes in with fans. You know what I mean? They didn't pick up any receivers before the trade deadline and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I kind of feel like pretty kind of similar off that. Like, I kind of feel like it is a look into our future, at least a little bit. Like, I mean, with Rodgers, I've been saying I think he's only got a year, maybe I'm hoping for 2 years left in him.
After
And
this year?
I'm thinking, no, just like one more year after this year.
But after his performance this year, you're still hoping for another year.
I'm still hoping for something. I'm hoping it gets better and he gets used to people. Anyways, but I think that we're going to struggle for like 2 or 3 years. And then hopefully it'll kind of come back around by then. Like, we'll kind of figure something out, a new system. It's going to be just a lot of new people out there.
Yeah, I feel like it's also really hard to tell because, like, who would have thought that Aaron Rodgers would be playing the way that he's playing this year? And then it comes to Matt LaFleur and a lot of questionings, around his coaching abilities and being able to overcome adversity, which I feel like last week we showed a little bit more like we're capable of doing that. I feel like that was like our first game that we've scored in the second half after like somebody punched us in the mouth.
Right.
So, I mean, that was a good sign. And then obviously we're playing the Bills and we all knew that we were going to lose. But, maybe with our game being as close as it was, not as close, it wasn't really a close game, but not being an absolute massacre. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to say. I feel like maybe we'll know more towards the end of the season and it's just too early to tell right now. But I'm also really interested to see what we do in the draft.
I
mean, we're going to have to do something, that's for sure.
My dad used to always say, like, because we're talking about the Bills, like 5 years ago, the Bills were well, maybe 10 years ago, the Bills were garbage. So my dad used to always say, like, when you've had the first round draft pick for 30 years, eventually you
got to be good.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So I think we're so used to not having, we're always, besides when we had Mike Sherman, we were 4-12, but we've always been like a dominating elite team. So I think this is a, kind of a punch in the chin for a lot of fans.
I mean, it's hard because I think a lot of the people that we are seeing on Twitter, I mean, that's obviously how we kind of all came about this show right now. But like a lot of the people we see on Twitter haven't really gotten to experience the Packers when they sucked. Like, my dad knew the Packers when they sucked and stuff. And like, I've been spoiled because we haven't. And so I think a lot of us are just like unhappy about that. But I'm pretty accepting of the fact that like we're not always going to be number one. We're not always going to be super good. Like, you're going to suck at some point.
Right.
I feel like a lot of fans need to come back to reality. Your football team isn't going to be the best football team for your whole life. And that just is what it is. And I don't understand why people don't understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look at Patriot fans. They dominated the entire league for years and years and years. And now they're, not dominating.
Now they don't even know if they want, their quarterback to be their quarterback. So.
Right. Exactly. So, or look at Tom Brady. Who would have thought Tom Brady would be in a losing season right now? Like, that's insanity. People in Tampa are losing their minds.
Well, I find it really coincidental that they're both having, like,
Right?
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are having their worst seasons at the same time.
Mhm.
I'm like, Tom Brady should have stayed retired,
For sure.
and we should have traded Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we could have got something out of him. Now we're like, oh, we want to trade Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be like, yeah, well, nobody wants him now, so.
Monty has me believing that we're going to get Lamar Jackson, and I need to tell myself that's not
Oh my God,
happening.
no, there's no way. That's not happening.
No, I know. But I'm going to live in delusion for a little while longer.
Yeah.
I would too. I mean, just take it and
Yeah.
Take what you can get. Like, maybe be a little
Right.
happy for a little bit.
Yeah.
Taste that serotonin.
So Kim mentioned earlier that the trade deadline has passed. What are your thoughts on the Packers' moves or lack thereof?
I think we all wanted a wide receiver. I think we're clearly in need of a consistent wide receiver that can stay healthy and like give the team some like confidence and hope at least. So it kind of sucks we didn't grab one. Not super surprised because we are the Packers and that's very on brand for us. So now we're just kind of stuck with what we got and we're just going to have to like hope we are 500 at least.
Yeah, I agree. We're such a conservative team. I feel like everyone gets their, they hurt their own feelings by getting their hopes up. And like I said earlier, the Bears, they're, playing or they're preparing for the future and the present, getting Chase Claypool. The Packers were just so conservative, and I feel like we need to be way more aggressive. But, I trust Gutekunst and
Is everything okay over there?
I don't know what that was.
Something broke.
Okay, that was the hopes and dreams, the hopes and dreams of every Packer fan just
shattering.
shattered.
The bookshelf on your kid again.
Oh no!
First of all, it was a dresser.
Sorry.
Oh no!
That's better.
How dare you bring up my weakest moment as a mother on this show?
He's okay though, right? Like he was okay.
Yeah, you saw him earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
so
weeks
cute.
ago.
Oh, he's good.
Months ago, Tori.
Wow.
Crying. Thank you.
Oh no! I just wish the Packers would be more aggressive, less conservative.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like the Packers are always going to be conservative. Like, they always have been. I feel like they always will be. And I don't know if it's because, like, this might sound stupid. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's because they're, like, in Wisconsin, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not against what you're
It's a
saying.
small town.
It's like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
small town. Do you think some of it is because we don't have a true owner?
I mean, I
Can you
guess we'll see
imagine
when Mark
having an
Murphy
owner?
retires. Yeah, can you imagine the hate that person would get? I can't even
Literally.
imagine. Yeah, unless the owner's Aaron Rodgers, because apparently no one.
Except Haley. Haley
No, no, Tori, no. We're not doing this. It's too much. It's too much. No.
No, I think
No,
there's something there
because-
with how it's a small market team.
Yes, exactly. But
Mhm.
okay, Tori said unless it was Aaron Rodgers, but you would not make everyone happy. You would only make half the fans happy because the other half clearly hates Aaron Rodgers right now. And I'm not saying that I hate Aaron Rodgers. I just wish he was playing better. That's all.
Right.
Don't we all? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wish he was a better leader and took accountability. But here's my take on Aaron Rodgers. You know when you put your 2 weeks in with a job and you're
like,
coaching,
I don't give a fuck about the
you're
rest
like,
of them.
I'm not training anybody. I'm done. Don't come to me for questions. I'm just here. I feel like that's kind of where he's at. Like, he's like, I'm not going to really like spend a lot of time and invest my time in training these receivers or getting chemistry with them, building chemistry. So he's just kind of, every game is what it is. That's how I feel it is. And I don't just like Aaron Rodgers.
I like how you put that.
I have a question for you. Does this describe putting your 2 weeks in and knowing you're not going to do anything anymore
I know what's coming
for
up.
the team?
Yes, that's what I do at my desk.
Yeah, that's me putting in my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just like running around the office. It's like, you know what's coming
No, I'm
after
just like, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is such a different person, I guess.
He's a weird guy.
Like I want to know like what goes on in his head because I have no freaking clue. He can talk all he wants, and I'm like, nothing just made sense to me because I don't understand where your head is at.
It's
like
I think he's a true like narcissist in my opinion.
Hot
just
take.
Hot
take.
I'll take the hate. You can come for me. I don't care. I just can't take the blame. Like and I think Charles Woodson on Sunday said it best. Like eventually he has to take some of the blame. And I know Michael said, like it's different as quarterback. I get that. But if you're a true leader, I think you need to take some of the blame and say, yeah, I'm not playing to the best of my ability. We're going to make changes and see where we go. And I'm excited for the second half of the season to see, if we do make a run, it could get more exciting.
Yeah. I really do like truly hate when I feel like the coach and the quarterback need to take blame. Like even if it's not their fault, they need to take blame for the games because they are like the leaders of the team for the most part. And so like I hate when they don't or like they're trying to put it on someone else or like say like how it's not their fault. It really bothers me quite a bit.
I feel like we always get the same answers from both of them.
Yes.
Like every time. Matt LaFleur is so short with everything. He doesn't answer uncomfortable questions. And it bothers me. I'm just like, why are you?
I think he just hasn't had the experience or like to answer these like really hard questions. He hasn't needed to really like prove himself as a coach because like his other seasons, everything was going just fine.
It makes me understand that. But like at the same time, you're the coach. You have to have an answer. You have to have a plan to overcome what you're currently going through. And it really feels like he doesn't based on these answers that he gives.
Right.
Definitely.
And it makes you wonder like how much of our past two 13-3, 13-4, whatever.
13-3, 13-3, 13-4.
Okay, thank you. Of these past seasons were Aaron Rodgers and how much were Matt LaFleur. Like,
and that's why I think he didn't ever win the coach of the year. Like last year, a lot of people wanted him to win coach of the year. And I think that's always been the argument is this Aaron Rodgers or is this Matt LaFleur? And now we're finding out. We're not finding neither.
Out. Right. Aaron Rodgers isn't playing to the best of his ability, so it's exposing Matt LaFleur. So they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They got to get it together though.
Have to get it together. They have to be able to overcome adversity. You can't just sit there on your ass once somebody's punched you in the mouth, like during the game. I mean, it's going to happen every game. And you have to figure a way to overcome that instead of just coming out and literally doing nothing like you have been.
Right. So, I want to see some fire from like Rodgers on the sideline. You know what I mean? Like besides just when he throws
and like not pass. Like throwing a tablet, like nothing like that. Please.
No. Like some
no Tom Brady.
Yeah. Did you guys hold up? Did you guys like see the video, the tweet of like Tom Brady pissed on the bench and like someone like sneaking in to grab the tablet from behind him?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That was hilarious.
I want to know how many tablets have had to be replaced because of its meltdowns.
At least 2.
At least. But
at least
2 to a game.
Right. I feel like, back to that, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just too like comfortable right now,
That's fair.
Comfortable with retirement or with where he is?
Retirement. I mean, he obviously is the only person in this world that knows what he's going to truly do, right? At the end of the season. And I feel like every week we're seeing more and more of like, okay, well, he's probably just going to retire. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I agree. I think I'm like Tori, where I'm hoping he's going to come back next year just because I hate goodbyes.
I do too. And like, I love a good farewell tour. I don't want a Ben Roethlisberger farewell tour.
For real.
I want like his last game, like people in the stands clapping and stuff. Like that's what I want. I want him to go out on a good note. And that's why I want him to play another year. If he starts sucking next year though, like sure, just like bench him.
Yeah.
But I would like one more season. I want one good season.
Right. We have blue balls for
literally.
They are so heavy.
Literally. So back to the trade deadline. What do you guys think of the Bears getting Claypool?
I mean, I think Claypool should have came here. Am I biased? Completely. But like I understand Rodgers is having like one of the worst seasons he's ever had, and there isn't much like like we don't really know what our future is going to be because like we've only seen Jordan Love in a few like controlled environments. But Justin Fields, who's young and has like more time with his franchise like left, is not doing good either. There's nothing I see about Justin Fields that like makes me worried about the Bears to this day. Rodgers still has 600 more yards than him. He's got almost double the touchdowns as Fields. He's got 2 less interceptions than Fields. Like he's just not scary. So I don't know why Claypool would be like, yeah, let's just the Bears, cool.
I mean, does he really have much of a say?
No,
right?
but like I wouldn't. I just
like
I don't know why.
As much as I would have loved to see like a huge receiver like Claypool come to Green Bay, I don't see him working with us. I just don't see him fitting in.
I don't care at this point. I need something. Like we are desperate. We are in desperate times. This is desperate measures. Like
Right,
I
I don't
used to
think
not
we're
want
there yet.
I used to not want OBJ because I feel like he's kind of a cancer on teams. Like he can like spread some bad
So-
personalities, but I would take him right now.
I'm
Right.
curious to know, do you still think that after he played for the Rams? Because I don't.
I don't know. Like I saw something that like he wanted to go back to the Rams, but I do not know. Like I don't see it.
If
Like,
we
do you
have an
think
actual
that-
if we have an
Go ahead.
actual chance at the end of the season to make the playoffs, I think signing OBJ to have, a fresh-legged OBJ in December would absolutely be beneficial to us. I think, he has a good relationship with Rodgers, and I think that they could definitely build on that. But I'm not getting my hopes up.
I'm
he's
not either.
He's not the OBJ that he was, a couple years ago. Justin Fields. Well,
It's 3 games.
So
I'm not seeing it. Like he doesn't ever like make me feel nervous. I just don't.
So my thoughts on this is that it doesn't scare me because at the end of the day, you can have any wide receiver you want. An example, you can be Derek Carr and have Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams gets you 3 yards the whole game, right?
Right.
Okay, so now you take Claypool and you put him with the Bears, who has Justin Fields. At the end of the day, Justin Fields still is not as accurate of a quarterback as other people are. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, Justin Fields does not scare me, just like Tori said. So no, I really don't feel any type of way about it. I mean, I feel like it was just a trade, and it's not something that's going to concern me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, because Justin Fields hasn't had like dog shit wide receivers. Like he's had people that can get the job done, and they just haven't been able to. So I don't know. It's just not a big deal to me.
I mean, Rodgers needs a better line as well. I mean, if you give Rodgers
Yeah.
a more solid O line, then he's going to have time to get the ball off, and then maybe
Get the ball off someone else's helmet, or
you never know. Our defense also has to play better.
our defense is tired. They are exhausted.
Right, but I mean, Savage, he's tackling like haha Clinton dicks.
Ooh.
So Savage is like literally the most disappointing name to me because I'm like, I wish that you were actually playing like a Savage.
Right? Like
Instead
your
of
name
just,
has
like-
so much potential to be so cool.
Exactly. I'm like,
Mhm.
you could have been so great just because of your name. And then here you are, and you're not doing enough for us, in my
No.
opinion. But at the same time, when we have Joe Barry, I'm like, what are we expecting our defense to be able to do? Because Joe Barry doesn't have a great track record. I mean, we all knew that whenever he was coming here. And then I saw in the press conference, somebody asked Matt LaFleur, like, do you plan on getting rid of Joe Barry? And he was like, no. And I'm like, that's a little bit concerning that you brought Joe Barry here, you hired him, and you were okay, and you thought that he was going to be good for the team. We have too many good defensive players for our defense to not be playing better than they are playing.
Definitely. Yes. Like we have a good secondary. Like we should have on paper, we have a good secondary. And I definitely feel I think though, like I wouldn't go out and just say like, yeah, I plan on like getting rid of him to like the media and stuff with so much left, like so much time left. So I don't know. Maybe it's in thought, but he doesn't want to like publicly put it out there.
Right. I know like this past week, the Dolphins coach, McDaniel, I think it was the defensive coordinator that he turned to and he was like, you need to fix this. I want to see like that kind of passion from Matt LaFleur instead of just, I get like you have to support your guys, but you need to also, expect them to play at a level that is going to make them competitive. You know what I mean? And Joe Barry's just not it. I get not firing him in the middle of the season, but dear Lord, we
need something else. Yeah.
Right. I feel like, going back to like having that fire on the sidelines, I'm like, I just see, Matt LaFleur and I'm like, you're not pissed enough for me right now. Like,
I agree. Like he isn't showing that like passion and that fire. I couldn't agree more. Like I'm pissed, like more pissed than he is.
Right. I'm like, you exactly like, Kim said that when the Miami coach turned and was like, I believe his exact words were, you need to fucking fix this. I mean, I read his lips and that's what I got. So.
Yes, I think you're right. I think you're correct. Yes.
So, I mean, if I'm not seeing something like that, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about the leader that you are, because at that point, you're not holding your defensive coordinator accountable for the way that he's coaching his players. And at the end of the day, that all comes back on you as the head coach because you hired him. You're sitting here and you're not putting a fire in his ass to be like, you're going to fix this right now because this is unacceptable.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree with what Labo said too. If I know like my boss is gonna let me walk all over him, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna like everyone's gonna take advantage of that. Like, does he not realize that like overall his ass is on the line? Like, if his coaches aren't doing well, like yes, you can get rid of those coaches, but like they're gonna look at you too. Like your ass is also on the line.
I agree with that completely. I mean, obviously, there's nothing intimidating about him. Like, I mean,
just his eyebrows.
It is his birthday today, so happy birthday.
It is. Yeah.
Sorry we're shitting on you, but happy birthday.
Hey, I still think you're hot as fuck. So
right. See, okay, so here's the thing. Like my boss from work is a 49ers fan, and the company that I work for is based out of Chicago, actually. So there's a ton of Bears fans. We all work from home, so we're literally all over the country, but there are a ton of Chicago people. And this morning, my boss calls me and she's like, oh my God, this guy that did our merchandise for Green and Gorgeous, which by the way is out now on Campiche Collective. She was like, he has a shirt that says our coach is hotter than yours.
And she's like, same. I also have a shirt that says my coach is hotter than yours.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I have it actually. And she was like, but it's so true. Your guys' coach is so hot. And
but it's like, that's all we got. Like
exactly.
He's just hot right now. And he's not a better coach than yours.
I'll take a 1 if that means we're going to win games.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
That's the thing. I'm like, sure, you're nice to look at on the sidelines, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning games for us, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
like
Mike McCarthy.
You and your eyebrows.
Right. Oh,
they're so good though. Yeah, no, I mean like Andy Reid, great coach. Like, I mean, he's done a lot with like not like look how far he could get with Alex Smith, you know? Mm-hmm. And so like a bag of hamburger is like that what that man looks like, but he is a good coach.
Of course. Yes, he is.
And that's what we need right now.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy isn't winning any beauty pageants, but he got us a Super Bowl.
He did. I am not going to the Dallas game anymore, but I was interested. I'm still interested to see like what it's going to be like for him to be back in Green Bay. Obviously,
I'm wondering if people are going to be giving like claps or if they're going to be booing.
I think they're going to welcome him. I think you can't go to Lambeau without being like welcome. You know what I mean? Even Bears fans are welcomed. And the way I feel about McCarthy, like when I see him on TV with like the Cowboys gear, I'm like, it's like seeing your dad with his other family. Like that. I'm like, Dad, is that like what? Come home. Like, what are you doing? And I mean, the Cowboys are killing it this year, so I wouldn't mind a McCarthy at the moment.
I agree with that. I think it's, obviously I think he had problems with time management.
Oh my God.
But other than that, I mean, he wasn't a terrible coach. Like, he did get us the Super Bowl. I think that Aaron Rodgers was probably just a diva and was the reason that he got fired. And then now we have Matt LaFleur. And I saw a video of them, like, in practice where they were talking for, like, 10 minutes or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, what are you guys talking about? Like, I don't know.
Skincare routines.
Probably. Like, people say, is Aaron Rodgers the one calling the shots? And then obviously this season, it makes you wonder, like, is he? We'll go, Aaron Rodgers frustrated, and then we go 3 and out because he's just throwing deep balls and missing everyone.
I feel like it is kind of like a lot of the play callings on Rodgers right now because, I mean, I feel like LaFleur has always kind of been like scared of him to like piss him off,
Probably.
Of course,
Probably.
absolutely. Yeah, me too.
Right. I mean, I could definitely see that. And then, it doesn't make you think. So
right. I know. I feel like
gonna know?
McCarthy was the coach, and then he got fired, and then magically Joe Philbin was our interim coach, and we won. And it was just like, was Rodgers like, diluting his play to make McCarthy look? You know what I mean? Like, that to me was always a little sus.
I'm sure he was, because like we've said a million times today, Aaron Rodgers is clearly a diva. So yeah, I think he's going to do whatever he has to do to get his way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just me.
No,
but,
I agree.
Do you think that the Bears are going to have a worse record than the Packers this year? I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
I don't. I think the Bears are going to do better. I'm sorry. I love the Packers. I would do anything to win, but the way we're playing, I can't see us doing better than the Bears.
I'm hoping that there's a good turn, but like I just don't see the Bears actually ending up better. The thing is, like, with that whole trade and stuff, and how like the Bears will probably have a higher trade, number than we would at the by that time.
The draft pick number.
Or draft pick, not trade, sorry, but I honestly, if they are higher, I don't think it's going to be by much. Like, I think that we are going to be like very close, but I think we'll have a better record overall.
I hope you guys are right. I hope
I do too.
God I'm wrong. Yeah.
We haven't really been right often on the show.
I don't know. We all said that we were going to lose that last game.
That's true.
Yeah.
We also
said
that we were
I could have told you we were lose that game.
Said we were going to lose the Vikings game.
We did.
So I don't know. We've gotten some things right, Tori. I don't know.
Yeah, we did, but then we got things wrong. Mainly me. I got things wrong. Like, I thought we were going to beat the Commanders, but didn't we all think we would beat the Commanders? Yeah, didn't we all think we would beat the Jets?
Thought that. Yeah. Anyways.
Let's move on to a better topic.
I was going to say it's time for a better topic. Something a little bit, more up, because now I'm really tired. I was tired starting, and now I'm just really tired because we're talking about depressing things. So Thirsty Thursday, I laughed actually out loud when I saw Kim's. This is hilarious because it is accurate. So Kim, do you want to tell us what yours is?
He's the leader of our team, and I know I've been talking horribly about him this entire hour, but I think he deserves a little respect, I would say. He on the field not doing great, but off the field, if you could please put it up.
Oh God. Oh God.
He looks great. He's thinned out. He's lean.
He's thinned out.
He's lean. He looks like he's reflecting on, what he could do.
Jesus Christ, that neck.
That
neck, dude, my God.
Rodgers, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's so good.
That's very good.
Thank you. He's the leader of our team. He deserves some respect.
He looks like he can move very quickly, but not fly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He looks like he could throw a football at someone's head.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be baked at 350 degrees and taste just fine.
You got to take the hair off first.
Right.
Oh,
he's gotta
yeah,
cut the hair.
definitely.
It might be a little questionable otherwise.
So yeah,
Tori?
I'm glad it made you laugh.
Yeah, I'll go next, I guess. Haley kind of touched on it. My Thirsty Thursday is going to be the new merch that we have. We tweeted out a link and stuff with all the different things that is on there. Thank you very much for doing this with all our different logos. There are sweatshirts, tank tops, mugs, wine tumblers, the beanies. Like, honestly, this beanie is going into my, like, it's going to be taken right out of my paycheck, honestly. Like, I am so excited for it. So that is what I'm going to have for my Thirsty Thursday today.
I love it. That's adorable. I love that.
And special shout out to Dakota Mitchell for putting up with us and agreeing to do this for us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And also a shout out to Jared Masuga, who did our graphic that is on our other merch, as well as behind us and up here in the corner by Tori's head. Jared is really good. If you ever need, a graphic or anything, you can always message him and he might be up for it at Titletown Rain. And to my Thirsty Thursday, mine is a little bit more happy and serious.
Why was ours not happy and serious?
Rogers looked great in that.
I literally was laughing so hard, Kim, whenever I opened. I was like, oh, I wonder what Kim picked for her Thirsty Thursday. And then, I opened my email and I was like, that was not at all what I was expecting. But this is so funny because I was like, the resemblance honestly is there.
It's uncanny.
It's honestly there. But mine is something that I'm super excited about. I think fans are also super excited about. Kylan Hill has been taken off of the physically unable to perform list. Hopefully that means goodbye to Amari Rogers on punt returns.
Punts.
Honestly, I don't think he did terrible on the offense. So I would not mind seeing Kylan Hill returning kicks and Amari Rogers on the offense.
I agree with that. I'm
excited.
Would be the worst thing. I think we missed him for sure. I kind of liken Kylan Hill to Aaron Jones's mobility. I think love AJ Dillon. He runs like he's running in wet cement. So I'm excited to see Kylan back.
Kim, look at those quads. Of course, it's going to be hard to run when you got those things.
Yeah, right? Like, they are literally weighing him down. He would sink to the bottom of an ocean if he jumped in.
He would.
Literally.
But I do
literally
love AJ.
And I love them.
Me too.
I think that's the thing about Packers fans, though. We all really love AJ Dillon, but I think that we all really do think that he is slow. I mean,
I think we're all ignoring the fact that he's not having the best season either.
Yeah, I think we are too.
Yeah,
because I love him. I've said it all the time. I love him so much. He's my favorite player, but he's just not doing what he has been before, and it kind of sucks.
Right. I think we were hoping he would be kind of like a Michael Turner with the Falcons, and he's not as explosive. It's just he runs and he's done. And he's
it's I don't know if people are just expecting him now. When we're on 3rd and 1, I think they're kind of expecting him to try and run through everyone because that's what he did last year. But they're ready for it now, so you have to adjust.
Right. Exactly.
And we're not good at adjusting, clearly. So
no.
We're not at all. And I also wonder because he turns into a full-on beast in the snow. So I'm well, maybe once there's some snow on the ground, we'll get AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for sure.
I know. I think we all are. Maybe that's why we haven't really said anything yet, because I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. It can't get. I'm not even going to say it.
Stop it right now. Come out.
I'm knocking on all the wood.
Seriously. Yeah. But looking ahead, the Packers play the Lions for a divisional game at noon. Do you guys think that we will finally break this losing streak that we're on?
God, we better. I'm really hoping that the Lions act as a slump buster for us so that we can get into a groove of some sort. The fact that it's a divisional game is going to be very important to beat them because the Vikings are doing very well, unfortunately, as much as I despise them. So we need to win every divisional game and hope that they mess up against the Bears or Lions.
Yeah, I think Jamal Williams is going to have a huge game. I think he's going to absolutely ball out, and I love that for him because I love Jamal Williams.
I
I'm
do
very
love him,
sad-
yeah.
I love Jamal.
Oh, how can you not? I don't think it's going to be a massacre, but I think the Packers are going to come out on top. The Lions always kind of gave us trouble. They always give us trouble. I feel like when it's not so great team, we kind of, sit back a little and are more lackadaisical.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the Packers are going to.
I hope we can at least come out like we did like against the Bills, because I think that having people just count us out and they're like, yeah, they're going to get destroyed kind of helps, because then it's like we're playing, we have nothing to lose when we have everything to lose right now.
Yes.
But so I'm hoping, yeah, we definitely come out similar to how maybe we did for that game, and it'll be just fine.
I'm really hoping that this is a game where like we show up and we put the game away like in the first half, because
and continue to score in the second.
Yes, because this is the thing. I do not have much faith in our second half team right now.
No.
I have yet to see a good second half performance besides this Bills game last week, and it's still.
But like, did you see that like 2-minute drill that they had? There was like no one was on the same page. So when we do need to come back at like, if we do have to come back at the end of the game, it's like terrifying. I'm not as confident as I used to be.
No, yeah, exactly.
Not at all. I mean, like, I feel like the last couple of seasons, we've really been a second half team. And then this year, I'm just like, we're not at all. Like, what happened to this?
We're barely a first half team.
Exactly. And I think that it really reflects back to like the coaching and what's going on in the locker room at halftime, because clearly you're not lighting any fire at all underneath these people's bottoms. And so
I like how you said
out here.
I like how you said
earlier and
earlier
bottoms down.
Yeah, that's kind of what Haley does.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Sometimes.
No, I agree. I
know that sometimes we have kids that watch. So
I hope not. We shouldn't. No one should be showing their children me. I am not something that children should look up to by any means.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We used to be like that team where you give us, we beat the 49ers last year with 34 seconds left. And I just miss that. I miss that so much. I miss those games so much, and having the faith in the team that they're going to pull it out. I mean, even on this past Sunday, knowing that, okay, we're not gonna do it. Even if we get this field goal, there's really no chance. You know what I mean? And I think the momentum that we're going into this next week of, okay, we weren't massacred by the Bills will help a little bit. And I think that's going to help, the morale of the locker room. But, I'm looking forward to the second half of the season. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's got to get better. I'm hoping it just has to.
It has to at some point. I mean, it doesn't really have to, but it should. Right.
Right.
So do you guys think that there's any Lions players that are going to give the Packers a hard time? I think Kim kind of already said Jamal Williams.
I say, yeah, like if I was going to pick one, it was definitely going to be him. Just he's coming out with a purpose every game against us.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're like last in the league protecting the middle. So I think they're just going to shove it down our throats there. And I think Jamal's going to have a huge game.
I think it's going to be Jamal or Amon-Ra.
That makes sense. Yeah. I also don't like the fact that our defense is so banged up. I know Devondre Campbell, I don't think it's looking promising that he's going to be playing Sunday. Jenkins, LL Cool Jank, as Sam always calls him.
I love that.
He's been limited. Bakhtiari hasn't practiced the last 2 days. So I'm really nervous between the line and our defense. I'm really nervous, but I really think that somehow we're going to pull it through.
Yeah, somehow something's going to work.
Yeah. Amon-Ra and Jamal, though. I agree with that, Amon-Ra, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I love Amon-Ra. I do.
I love their parents.
I know they're so cute.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
What it was last year when they were wearing those jerseys.
The like split
Yeah, the
jerseys.
split,
Yes.
yeah. That's so cute.
I know, I loved it. But that is all that we have tonight. Kim, thank you again so much
Thanks
for
so
taking
much.
this
Thank
time
you.
out of your night to be
Thank
here
you.
with us. And we will see you all. Are we here? Yeah, we're here next week. We're here next week. It's the following week that we're not. So we'll see you all next week. And hopefully we get the win this Sunday.